Today, we're going to get right into it with a quick episode, but a good one, talking about fitness for busy entrepreneurs, how to build a lean, strong physique without wasting time or wasting any money. Because we all know we're busy, we got a busy schedule, and all too often I hear, I don't have time to prioritize my health, I don't have time to get lean, I don't have time to go to the gym and work out. And while people often say those, I see them spending a whole lot more time in areas that they think are going to make a difference, but have little to no effect on improving their body composition or health. So, like I said, we're going to jump right into it here. We have 4 things that we're going to cover. The last one is probably going to surprise you. The third one is one of the most important but most neglected, and we did a previous podcast on that already, so that should tell you what that number 3 is. But let's start right off the bat with the first one. Most guys think that going to the gym is what is going to get them to lose weight, but I have seen countless guys who lift 5 to 7 days a week for 1 to 2 hours a day. They train hard, but yet their body composition never seems to improve. They never seem to lose body fat. And on the other side of things, I know quite a few guys too who are in pretty good shape, have a decent amount of muscle mass, have abs, they are lean, and they don't go to the gym every single week. Maybe they'll go 1 or 2 times a week, and that's it. They don't put a whole lot of time in there. So that tells us that nutrition is 80% of the game when it comes to getting lean and building a physique that you're actually confident and proud of. So nutrition needs to be the focus. Now, there's all these different diets out there, but when it comes to actually breaking it down to the basics of what matters, first off, you hear everybody say, eat whole food. Now, there's the whole argument, eat whole food versus fake food. There's no such thing as fake food. That's not true. But eating whole foods, we're going to categorize that as meats, vegetables, fruit, grains, rice, potatoes, all those sorts of things. 100%. That should make up 80% of your diet. Why? Those foods are going to be higher in nutrients such as fiber, which is going to keep you fuller. They're going to be higher in vitamins, minerals, all of those micronutrients that we need in order to be full of energy, have good hormone production. Also, healthy fats, that's a key part of hormones, especially testosterone. Cholesterol is a precursor for all of those necessary sex hormones that we need to feel and look our absolute best. So, number 1, eat whole foods. Number 2, we need to be in a caloric deficit. I know I say this time and time again, but that is the only thing that is going to drive fat loss, or that's going to drive weight loss. But to make sure that we are losing body fat, we need to be eating enough protein on a daily basis. Now, we have other episodes where we're going to go do a deeper dive on this, but for now, I'm just going to tell you, eat about 1 gram of protein per pound of target body weight. So if you have a lot of weight to lose, say you're 270, you want to get down to 200, you only need to eat 200 grams of protein a day. And a lot of people complicate their meals. It doesn't need to be Gordon Ramsay, 5-star Michelin restaurant meals every single time you eat. You need to find a key 3 sources of protein, a key 3 sources of carbohydrates, and some fruits and veggies that you enjoy. And just with that, you can make countless meals, kind of rotating with those different carbs and different protein sources right there. Next, I'd say a lot of you complain about your meals and say that you have to eat boring foods and bland foods like chicken and rice and all that. And that's not necessarily the food. That is, you are not good at cooking. So you need to learn how to cook. You need to learn how to season your meat. Also, get appliances that make it super easy. Get air fryers. Get crock pots. Get things like that where you can spend maybe 2 minutes of prep work, throw it in there, forget it, walk away, come back, and it's done. When you have the right appliances, nutrition is seamless, super easy. Second option, if you don't want to cook, is use a meal prep service, whether that's a local one or a nationwide one, Trifecta, MegaFit Meals, all that. You can go on their website, find meals that fit your macros. These good nutrition sites should have the macros per meal laid out. You can pick ones that fit right into what your daily macros are so that you're getting enough protein, you're not overdoing it on calories, and the food is done for you. So we need to establish consistency with nutrition, prioritize whole foods, eating 80% whole foods, and the best way you're going to have consistency with calories and protein is simply by tracking your food intake. You can use apps such as MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, or our Lean and Lethal app has a food tracker built into that. Now, often here too, I don't have time to track my food. I guarantee you, if you open your phone right now, your screen time is well over an hour. And I will tell you, it only takes about 5 minutes maximum, especially just getting started, I would say, 5 minutes to track your food for the entire day. And a lot of us are already on our phone, looking at the news, scrolling, looking through emails, Instagram, whatever, while we're eating a meal. Take that last 30 seconds to track whatever it is that you are eating. By the time that you get consistent with it, you're eating relatively the same meals every single day, because we don't want to have to think a bunch about what our food is. Like, it almost becomes second nature at a point. You get up, you put that gas in the gas tank, that's your nutrition. You move on with your day. It becomes a second nature. It shouldn't be something that you have to think and stress about all day long, because you're going to get the same results whether you're putting all this stress and effort into playing macro Jenga, making these fancy meals, or if you find a key foundational meals that you like, you eat that 90% of the time. You want to go out to eat with your wife or your spouse, or you have a party or something and you want to do something different, change it up. 100% you can do that with flexible dieting, but you should have those kind of key foundational meals that you eat on a regular basis when you're kind of in your natural routine. So now that's number one. That is nutrition. If we're looking at time that we need to allocate to it, I would say about 5 minutes a day maximum to track all of your food, and maybe 1 hour a week to either prep your food for the week or to get food ordered. Next, simply walk more. We'll see a lot of people that go straight to cardio and running. You don't need to do that. Doing more running and high intensity cardio is going to increase your appetite. You're going to want to eat more, puts a whole lot more stress on your body. If you have a lot of weight to lose, that's going to put a lot of unnecessary stress on your knees, and it's not going to be very, very beneficial. Instead, just simply walking more throughout the day, which is part of your NEAT when it comes to your total daily energy expenditure. Get 10,000 steps a day. Now, that may seem like a lot, but park in the back of parking lots when you go to stores. You're going to get extra steps there. When you're on phone calls, walk around while you're on the phone call, put your AirPods in. Get a walking pad. That's a huge one. Have a walking pad at your house. Put it in front of your TV. That way you can kill two birds with one stone. And you're watching football, watching Netflix at night, watching a YouTube video, learning a sales training or something. You can be walking while you're doing that, and it makes getting your steps in no problem. That's going to kind of level out your activity level to make sure that that stays consistently high while you're controlling for your calories, to make sure that you're remaining in a calorie deficit. Because if we don't do that, we lower our calories, we get into a deficit, our body is naturally going to want to compensate for that drop in energy coming in, and we're going to move less. So make sure you're consistently walking, I'd say 8 to 10K steps a day. Next one, prioritize sleep. We've already done a whole podcast on this, so if you haven't listened to that yet, go listen to that. But sleep is one of the most underrated things that you can do to build muscle, build body fat, have more energy, improve your testosterone. Everyone's going out there looking for these testosterone supplements while they're getting 4 to 5 crappy hours of sleep every night because they're on screens right before bed. They're eating huge meals right before bed. All these little things that are killing your sleep quality and therefore your testosterone, and going to have a lot higher impact than any sort of over-the-counter supplement that you could buy that's going to quote-unquote boost your testosterone. So we need to make sure we're sleeping good. The quantity and the quality of sleep needs to be there. So 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, and making sure that you're doing the proper things in those 3 to 4 hours before bed so that your quality of sleep is there. You're getting enough deep and REM sleep. That is crucial for your hormones, your ability to handle stress, maintaining low cortisol levels, being able to perform the next day in the gym, being able to make the right decisions, have lower hunger levels the next day. If our sleep is compromised, we have increased ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and you're going to be more likely to overeat and make poor decisions around food. The last one, the one that you think is the most important in order to moving the needle forward and getting lean, is lifting weights and training. Now, at a bare minimum, I would say everybody is capable of getting 3 lifts in per week for 30 minutes a session. And if you have a set training plan, it does not need to change every week. Even it shouldn't change every week. I would say every 4 to 6 weeks, maybe you change up some of the exercises, but those foundational compound lifts should always be there. And it doesn't take a whole lot. Focus on progressive overload, doing more weight or more reps each time with those main lifts. You can get a good solid workout in with 4 to 6 different exercises and be done in 30 minutes or less. If you're somebody who is just trying to get to that point where you're consistently going to the gym, and that's going to drive a whole lot of progress for you. That 3 times 30 minutes a week is less than 1% of your time each week. I believe we have 168 hours in a week, so 90 minutes of that is less than 1% of your time each week, and that is going to drastically reduce all of your risk for every type of disease, both cognitive diseases, heart disease, diabetes. Taking care of your bones and muscles is crucial. Now, it's not huge in terms of fat loss, but it's huge in terms of taking care of your muscle mass, maintaining that muscle mass where you're in a deficit so that you're losing body fat and you're not losing any of that muscle mass. And then if you're new too and you haven't been training a whole lot, you're going to build some muscle in the process, which is going to make you look a whole lot better and make sure that you don't look skinny fat all said and done. But we also want to be strong and functional. We don't just want to be skinny little dudes at the end of the day. So that is it. 12 minutes, so we get it in under 15. So as a quick summary, in order to lose body fat, all you need to do is track the food that you're already eating, eat 80% whole foods, get enough protein in throughout the day. So all of that said and done, we're looking at 3 to 5 minutes a day to track your food. If you're just starting out and you're not really quick and consistent with it yet, maybe an hour a week to get food prepped. If you are cooking your own food, walk more throughout the day. That doesn't need to put any other inconvenience. You can find little points to kind of break that up throughout the day. Go on a walk after lunch, go on a walk after breakfast and dinner, walk while you're on phone calls, park at the back of parking lots, walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes before and after your workouts to warm up. The next one's prioritize sleep. You're already sleeping. Just focus on doing the right things before bed to really maximize that. Get off your phone, quit scrolling at night. That's not going to improve your life at all. Getting good sleep is going to drastically improve your life. Training wise, less than 1% of your week. That's a solid bare minimum if you aren't already training to get started. But your workouts are not going to drive progress as far as fat loss. So all said and done, you can 1000% lose body fat, get in the best shape of your life with, I would say, 4 to 5 hours for the entire week is all you would need to invest. And I guarantee you there's nothing else out there in the world where you can put 4 to 5 hours a week in and get greater returns that are going to impact every area of life. It's going to improve your relationship with your spouse. It's going to improve your productivity in your job, in your business. You're going to have a higher resilience to stress. You're going to have a lower risk for developing any sort of disease down the road, which a lot of us don't think about until it comes to that point where we actually have that disease, and then our quality of life significantly decreases, and all we want is our health at that point. So don't let that be you. You're working hard in your job, so make sure that hard work's going to pay off and you're actually going to be able to enjoy those later years and have a longer health span. And 2, you're going to be a lot more resilient to stress. You're going to be a lot more disciplined in every area of life, taking care of this. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more confidence, and your overall quality of life and ability to lead and produce for the world is going to be a lot higher. So there it is, how to get fit as a busy entrepreneur or busy professional. As always, stay lean and stay lethal. We'll see you soon.